You know, it pains me to have to punish you. It really does. But you have to know your actions have consequences. Some not so pleasant.
If you're going to cut me off at the knees, Mom, just do it.
Did you learn that regrettable expression from your father? Okay. For starters, you won't be going on your senior class trip.
No, Mom, it's Cancun.
You already had your little tropical getaway when you decided to sneak off to the Dominican Republic with a married man.
I didn't sneak. I boarded a plane and left because I'm almost 19 and I get to do that.
Not while you're under my roof, you don't. Look at me. You're forcing me to act like this generic mother.
Probably because you know that it's arbitrary and unfair.
As your mother, I get to be that too. So while the kids, your friends, are in Cancun doing God knows whatever they're doing, you could stay here and think about what you did that you shouldn't have done.
Well, do I have a choice?
Nope.
Are we done?
Nope. And if you think for 1 minute that I don't know that you're trying to get rid of me before Ethan walks in here, you profoundly underestimate me, my friend. Let me ask you something. Are you trying to get Ethan killed? You know your father, when he gets angry, he has a trigger response. Literally. Newsflash. He's really angry.
Because you jumped to the wrong conclusion. You told Dad that I was running off to marry Ethan. Of course he'd go ballistic.
You know, the thought of you marrying Ethan makes me want to go ballistic.
Honestly, Mom, the way that you and Dad are talking about him, it's like he's some gang-banging drug dealer or something. He's Ethan, remember? A guy that you actually like.
This isn't about whether we like him or not. This is about you running off to another country behind our backs, and he was married.
The whole point of the trip was to end Ethan's farce of a marriage.
You know what? We're not talking about this anymore. What you did is wrong. You're not going to get away with it. I don't care how old you are. You live under my roof. You're supported by your father and I. We make the rules. You follow them or else, okay? Oh, yeah, there's one more thing. You're not going on the Manhattan overnight trip with us.
I'm the one who picked out the plates.
I know. I'm sure they're going to be really good. Thanks. We'll give you a full report. I'm missing one. 6 o'clock. You're coming home every night at 6 o'clock.
6?
Mm-hmm.
How unfair are you? Dad literally gets away with murder, and I'm grounded because I supported a friend?
Do you think you're being fair to Ethan?
What do you mean?
You're putting him in a situation where he has to take care of you. It's awkward.
You don't know anything about us.
Honey, there is no us. I'm sure Ethan cares about you as a friend. Who wouldn't? But he's not going to cross that line. A, because he knows you're vulnerable. And B, because he wants to live. If you really care about him, I suggest you find yourself another more appropriate boyfriend.
Hi, what's up?
Ethan, I didn't expect to run into you. Please sit. I'm just finishing texting a friend. Oh, an insensitive friend.
I'm afraid to ask.
Well, Chelsea just messaged me from the mall where she's bikini shopping for the trip to Cancun that I'm no longer allowed to go on.
I thought that trip was your graduation present.
It was, until I went to the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's not your fault. And I couldn't care less about being in Cancun with a bunch of high school kids. I sure wouldn't trade my trip with you. Although it does suck being under curfew.
How bad is it?
It's ridiculous. 6 o'clock? The street lights aren't even on yet. Speaking of which, do you have the time?
You're right there on your phone?
Oh, right. Yeah, just as I thought. Lockdown looms. It's going to be a very lonely until further notice. So, what are your immediate plans for the future?
Still figuring it out. Johnny said he might have some work for me, but in a few weeks. Lily was on fire about taking over the Star, but the desire seems to have waned.
Is the Star even open?
No, that's the point. There's no drinks to pour, no customers to serve, you know, it's what's known as at loose ends, I believe.
I'm sure you'll figure something out.
You know, I was actually thinking about hitting the road again, you know, leaving my fate to chance.
Well, you know, at least you don't have to decide right away. Hey, what are you doing tonight?
Nothing in particular.
Why don't you come over and keep me from losing my mind out of sheer boredom?
Yeah, I doubt Alexis would welcome me into her home with open arms. I'm not exactly her favorite person.
She was good with you at my graduation party.
True.
And she knows that my dad's being totally unreasonable. She just goes along to get along. She doesn't have a problem with you at all. Come on. Please say you'll come.